I welcome you back to my podcast, Conversations Unbound. My name is Dr. Bhaskar Bora, and I look forward to conversing with you once again. Often we have some very eminent guests sharing their journeys, and sometimes I just converse with you on various topics regarding life, positivity, affirmation, and those sort of things. So today is one of those days where I thought I would talk to you about something we call popularly as the missing tile syndrome. You must have heard of it, and so let's get on and explore more. And if you do like and find these conversations useful, if you like these videos, then please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I hope to contribute to giving you a new perspective of life and touch your heart through this medium. Have you ever felt that you always think more about what is missing than what you have in life? Because in this journey of life, our perspective matters a lot. Our perception of the world greatly influences our experiences about life itself and the overall well-being. And one of the interesting phenomena that affect our perspective is popularly known as the missing tile syndrome. It refers to the tendency of some individuals to focus more on what is missing in their lives than to think about the things which are in abundance, and therefore they forget to appreciate all the good things in life and rather focus more on the negatives, and as a result that can bring on a lot more negativity into their lives and can indeed lead on to some pathological conditions as well, including clinical depression, neurosis, psychosis, and all sorts of things. So let us explore this a bit more. Let us talk a bit more about this thought-provoking concept about the missing tile syndrome and what we can do to avoid ourselves from falling into that spiral, into that trap. So let's understand the missing tile syndrome. Just think you are in a beautiful place on a holiday and you are in a swimming pool. And then as you explore the beauty of the swimming pool and indeed of the nature around you, your eyes suddenly go into one missing tile in the swimming pool, which in the bigger picture does not carry much significance, but because your eyes have noticed that missing tile, your mind now doesn't move beyond it. So that is our cycle, that we get fixated on something that is missing, and therefore that can ruin your whole experience. And that is exactly what is known as the missing tile syndrome. This mindset can prevent us from fully experiencing the joys and the blissfulness of the moment and indeed of life. Have you ever felt like that? I sometimes have. And now, as I sit on a wheelchair, thinking about what life could have been, I realize that I did not appreciate the good times when I had them as much as I should have. But that's the way life is. But I hope that maybe by listening to me or by listening or seeing some other people about their experiences, you don't wait to experience the loss yourself, and you learn to appreciate the things that you have rather than lamenting over the things that you don't. It is by understanding these underlying factors behind the syndrome of the missing child syndrome that we can take steps to overcome it, and therefore have much more gratification of life and enjoy much more positivity. So, what is the power of perspective? Our perspective shapes our reality, and that is what we're trying to do, to discuss about in this video or in this podcast, as we examine the different perspective. To put it in layman terms, it is about the perspective of whether you see a glass half full or half empty. It is not as easy or not as clearly defined as one would think, because we often do talk about the glass being half full or half empty, but do we really practice it? It is as we explore the psychological factors and how they impact our overall mindset, and thus also the approach to life. It is by gaining an awareness of our own perspective that we can work on making it much more positive, that we can make some informed choices about how we want to define ourselves, how we want to live our life. It's about also knowing the impact that it might have if we do indeed suffer from this missing child syndrome. And I use the word suffer very carefully because although we may not notice it, but it is something which can impact us psychologically, and not just us, but also our near and dear ones. Because if we do become a negative person by default, then it just does not affect our own mentality and our own outlook of things, but it also impacts on how we treat our near and dear ones, and unknowingly we may end up causing them harm, causing them grief, and it can have a tremendous impact on our relationships as well. So how can we start shifting that negativity from our lives? We need to think about some practical tips and strategies. And the first and foremost thing that I suggest that you can do, and this is coming from my own experiences, because I went through a severe depressive time when I was lying in the hospital from the spinal cord injury and became disabled for life. And I went through all the grief reactions, thinking about why it had to be me, thinking about what had I done wrong to deserve this, or what I shall be missing in life. It was during that time somehow that it dawned on me that I should not be just lamenting on what I have lost. As the saying goes, there's no point in crying over spilled milk. So similarly, there was no point in me just thinking all the time about what I've lost. Instead, it was important for me to count my blessings. And now when I counsel students, other doctors, other fellow human beings, and they come to me talking about the problems and what is going wrong in their lives. One of the first exercise I get them to do is to get them to write down at least five good things that is happening in their lives at that moment. And I've seen that while it is very easy for people to talk about the negative things, but often people struggle to find out five good things in life. But by the time they go on to the third or the fourth thing, they actually start finding more things than just five. Because I think that is a way of training our mind that and thinking it in a different way where you actively start searching for the positive things. And then once we start thinking about the positive things, then more often than not, we actually find out there are more positives in life than what we had thought. Because often the positives or the good things in life get buried by the negative emotions, and we have to actively search for them. Otherwise, it creates a downward spiral, and the the good thoughts get buried deeper and deeper. So I think it is very important to count our blessings, starting from the fact that we are still alive and smiling, waking up every morning with a smile to see the sunshine, see the daylight. So if we just start from those basics, and then we think about what else we have. We have a family, we have friends to thank for. We have a way to feed ourselves. We may not have the biggest car, we may not have the best bike, or we may not have the biggest house, but then think about the ones who are worse off than us. If you think today that you don't own a Rolls Royce, but own an Audi, think about the person who does not own a car yet. For him, you are his inspiration. For you, the guy with the Rolls Royce is an inspiration. So, and again, for the person who is riding a bike, the one who does not have a bike or not even a bicycle, for him, he is an inspiration. So it's like a food chain. So, and it comes back again to the question of the perspective. So, if we start counting it as a positive that we have what we have and things could have been a lot worse, so therefore we are grateful for what we have. We have that appreciation, we have the affirmation, and then we we say a thank you silently from our heart. Then that's all that you need to start your day. And if you do that, trust me, you won't be missing that missing tile anymore. Yes, the missing tile may still be there, but to you, it will just be a small blip in the bigger picture. You would still be able to enjoy the painting that is your life. You'd still be able to enjoy what is around you, what is with you, what is for you. All you need is a change of perspective to appreciate what you have. Often, in the worry of what is going to happen tomorrow, we sacrifice or forget to appreciate what we have today. What happened yesterday is a memory. What is going to happen tomorrow is an imagination, an expectation. But what is today is indeed the only thing that we have, and that is the reality. So if we can appreciate this reality, if we can appreciate this moment, then it will prepare us better for what is going to come. And no one knows what lies around the corner. You don't, neither do I. But if we can make ourselves more resilient, then we can face anything that is going to come. So please, my kind viewers and ladies and gentlemen, let us try and find a bit more about this missing tile syndrome. Try and find out whether we fall in that category, and try and not just find out whether the glass is half full or half empty for us, but indeed we try and change our perspective and make it a glass half full, even if all this time you had been thinking it has been half empty. Your competition is not with anyone else. It is not about somebody is earning more, somebody is happier than you, somebody has got more money than you. Your only competition is about how you are today in comparison to how you were yesterday. So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, so I want to say goodbye for today and look forward to seeing you very soon. Have a great evening wherever you are. I look forward to meeting you again. Thank you very, very much. This is Dr. Bhaskar Bora, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Dr. Bhaskar Bora, or look up on my website, drbhaskarBora.com, and most importantly, do check out my book, The Second Chance in Life. Thank you.